Eduardo, congratulations for getting the President's Award. I couldn't think of a better person than you, my friend, because we've had the pleasure of working together on the American Latino Museum efforts. I know it's been decades. And if we want to talk about impact, that is true impact. The ability to bring organizations together, coalitions together, bipartisan support so that we can get this museum built on the National Mall. And I've had the pleasure of walking the hallways of the White House, of offices for Congress, Senate, everywhere and anywhere people would listen so that we can continue to advocate together for this great effort. And it has been you, my friend, for so many years committed to see it come through and be a reality.
Estuardo Rodriguez is by far one of the most exceptional Latino leaders in this nation right now. He is one of the most relentless and tireless and passionate Latinos that I've ever had the privilege of working with. And a couple of years ago, when he brought me on board to join him at Friends of the American Latino Museum, first as a spokesperson and now as part of the board, he changed my life. He's allowed me to lead one of the biggest fights we have in the community and for the rightful telling of American history and to be a part of history and to leave a legacy for all Latinos. And for that, Estuardo, I will be eternally grateful. I also love the example that you've set, not only by empowering the next generation of Latinos, but by empowering young Latinas. You've done that with me and you've done that with your team, and you can see that with the makeup of your team and the young women that surround you. So thank you for setting the example. And I do have to add that Estuardo is by far always the most elegantly dressed man in every room in Washington, D.C.
Estuardo, everyone, I'm sure, has been buzzing about your sharp fashion tonight, your style. I've got to admit, I usually think I'm ahead of you in that category, but tonight, hermano, I'm willing to hand you the crown. It's all yours. But in all seriousness, for over 20 years, you've been more than a stylish hermano. You've been a trusted leader, a trusted national leader, and a relentless advocate for this movement to bring the Latino Smithsonian to the National Mall. They say if you've impacted even one life, it's a life well lived. And Est, you've impacted scores of lives, including mine. Your dedication has rippled across communities, leaving a lasting mark on everyone who's had the privilege of working with you. Tonight, we honor not just what you've done, but who you are.
Estuardo is an extension of everything we do. I met that guy over 20 years ago, and I've always said in Washington, D.C., you're as good as the call you get and the call you can make. And Estuardo has always answered my call, but also always given me a call when there's an opportunity. All the times that I call him and say, I have an idea, and I know he's rolling his eyes, and at the same time, he always answers, and he always responds with action. That's the thing about Estuardo. He's always willing to jump into anything that helps our community. He is invaluable, not just in terms of the community, but in terms of my organization and our mission, and in terms of me as a friend. He's someone I really count on in this town. And in a town of transactions, Estuardo understands the importance of a real relationship. I just really admire him, which is why I've supported him from the start. You support people you trust. You support efforts you trust. You support the trust in the community. And Estuardo foments all of that through his actions.
Amigo, I'm so proud of you, and no one deserves this more than you. One of the most important lunches that Estuardo and I ever had was not about a client, was not about the museum, but it was about when I was going to plan my daughter's quinceañera. Estuardo sat me down and he said, Maria, let me tell you how this goes, because he had done it twice already. So Estuardo, I know that you came to my daughter's quinceañera, and if it wasn't for you, I would not have been able to put that together. If it wasn't for you and your dear wife, Elizabeth, you guys were lifesavers. So that's the kind of friend that Estuardo is. But more than anything, I also want to let people know, if you didn't already, how funny and how goofy Estuardo can be. So much so that it is hard for us to sit next to each other. I have so much fun sitting next to Estuardo, but he gets me in trouble all the time because we will laugh just about stupid stuff, and we will be goofy, and we will have fun. And everything about Estuardo is making sure that everybody understands the light and the life of the Latino community. So, amigo, I love you. Muchos besos, muchos abrazos. Estoy muy orgullosa de ti. You deserve it all.
There are few people as deserving of this recognition as Estuardo, because there are few people who care as much or fight as hard to elevate the image of Latinos in American society. And while Estuardo is a tireless champion and an exemplary leader on this and many other fronts throughout the halls of power in Washington, D.C., part of what makes him special is that Estuardo is the embodiment of a true friend. While he's quick with a joke and loves a good laugh, you couldn't find a more loyal, generous, or giving person to have on your side. That's part of what makes him so beloved by so many, as you can see. It's a real joy to see you get this well-deserved accolade, my friend, and I look forward to many more years in the trenches together. Adelante.
On behalf of the T-Mobile team, we'd like to congratulate Estuardo Rodriguez for his President's Award. We are just so beyond grateful for all the work that you've done with us. We've hit so many milestones in the last few years, and you've really been alongside us for all of that. I'd like to personally thank you, Estuardo, for being a mentor to me, bringing me into the community, introducing me to so many incredible people who I'm now proud to call partners and friends. You know, we can always count on you to show up looking dapper, Red Bull in hand, and ready to go. So we're so happy for you and proud of you. And nobody deserves this award more than you. Cheers and have a great night celebrating.
When I think of Estuardo Rodriguez, the first words that come to mind are integrity, loyalty, and a fierce commitment to the Latino community. I've worked with Estuardo in many different roles throughout my career, and he never seems to lose sight of what truly matters in life. He leads with humility, a great sense of humor, which I really appreciate, and a fierce dedication to what he does, which is something I really admire. Estuardo may rely on Red Bull for much of his energy. I think he might drink a lot of Red Bull. In fact, I know he does. But he certainly does not need it to fly. He does that all on his own. And I'm just incredibly proud of all the work that he's done, all of his accomplishments. So, Estuardo, congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. Really proud of you.
And I've had the pleasure of knowing Estuardo for over 15 years. And in that time, we've been through a lot together, and we've built a really strong friendship. From debating each other vigorously in various countries where we got to the point where we could say each other's talking points, to working closely together to pass the bill in Congress to authorize the creation of the Smithsonian National Museum of the American Latino, to having him agree to serve on the advisory council of the American Latino Veterans Association. And in every situation, I've known him to be passionate about his purpose, dedicated to his cause, and creative in crafting solutions and coalitions. And he's always been open to new ideas on how to build consensus. And these are leadership traits that make him such a worthy recipient of this distinguished recognition.
Hi, Ez. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much for everything you've ever done for me since the moment I arrived in Washington, D.C. You know, when I worked at the White House, people always ask me, well, why do you drop everything when Ez calls? And the answer is simple, because since I was an intern, since the first day that I got to Washington, D.C., Estuardo has treated me in the same way, has invested the same amount of time, love, care into making sure that not only am I developing and growing professionally and feel supported, but in making sure that I'm in rooms that I had never had the opportunity to be in otherwise.
There's something remarkable about people who see potential where others don't and then pursue that vision relentlessly. That's Estuardo. He's a friend who championed the American Latino Museum even when the path seemed uncertain or unclear, even when it was impossible. He believed, he stuck with it. He did whatever it took to make sure that no matter what, no one forgot that this vision deserved to come to fruition. I respect that tremendously, and I know that we're still a few years from seeing the construction of the Smithsonian Museum for the American Latino. But I will say that there should be a place for Estuardo Rodriguez to be recognized. There should be a hall, maybe the cafeteria, or maybe the fashion session, because the guy knows how to dress. Estuardo, you have done so much to bring joy to our community about our heritage, our history, and our origins. I thank you for being there for Nuestras Stories when we launched, but I especially thank you for the contributions you've made to make the American Latino Museum a reality.
Estuardo Rodriguez, you're one of the people in Washington, D.C. that's tenacious and always fighting, not just for your clients, but for the community in general. For example, when it comes to the Latino Museum that's gonna be built on the mall in Washington, D.C., if it wasn't for you and friends of the Latino Museum, we wouldn't be here today on the cusp of having our own museum. Congratulations on this honor. It's well-deserved, and you're an amazing person. I consider you a friend, and I wish you well in the years to come. By the way, you've had an impact on me. Look at this. I don't normally dress this snazzy, but I got a little thing right here in my pocket in honor of you.
Congratulations, Estuardo Rodriguez, for this President's Award. There is nobody more deserving than you for this honor, for your leadership, for making such a difference in our communities, and for the work that you do day in and day out. You are a real friend to our Latino community, to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and our members. I know for me personally, it's made such a difference to have a friend and somebody to count on and call on when I need that help, when I need that introduction. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done, and congratulations.
Hi everybody, Hector Sanchez Barba from Mi Familia Vota here in Mexico. We're here for the inauguration of President Chapman, and Estuardo is actually here. He's sitting at the table over there. So I'm preparing this video. We're in one of the most beautiful museums in Mexico. But as I reflect on Estuardo and the collaborations that we have, it has been an amazing experience of growing together professionally. Estuardo is leading one of the most important conversations that we need to have as a nation, as a community, which is the Latino Museum. Historically, we have been excluded for the recognition of our contributions to the nation. We have been denigrated. Right now, we are under attack with the anti-Mexicanidad, anti-immigrant elements, the anti-Latino elements. And this conversation that Estuardo has been leading for almost 2 decades is central to defining our history, to defining our heritage. So, Estuardo, muchas gracias por todo tu trabajo.
Estuardo, desde el fondo de mi corazón, felicitaciones. Congratulations.
Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations, hermano. You deserve it.
Thank you, brother, and congratulations.
Felicidades. Congratulations.
Congratulations, felicitaciones, y que vengan muchos más.